You know, I just realized that I haven't made a single video on BiBi yet. Now, I certainly have talked about her in the past, but that was more about how to deal with her when using a different brawler. So let's do exactly that. I'm going to go over the various modes to use her in and the loadouts that are best suited for her. Now, it's been a really long time since I last played BiBi, and that was mostly because I couldn't get the hang of using her. Of course, there are many things that make her powerful, though there are a few drawbacks that you may encounter. For one, she is a melee brawler, and if you use her on an open map, chances are you might not survive long. This is where one of her star powers comes in, called Home Run, which simply gives her a 12% increase in movement speed. Any type of speed boost is always going to be beneficial for many brawlers, but I think it is especially beneficial for BiBi in one mode, which I'll get to later. As for her other star power, Batting Stance gives her a rechargeable shield that blocks damage by 20%, and while this may sound like it would be incredible, I found it to be a bit lackluster, mainly because you sacrifice speed over defense, and most players would know better than to close in on BiBi. It's no secret that her attack speed is very slow, and it's something that you have to practice getting used to before playing in anything other than solo showdown. One thing that will definitely help you in the long run is her vitamin booster gadget, which heals 10% of her max health for 4 seconds. I found this to be better than her extra sticky gadget, which slows down enemies for 3 seconds if her super hits them. So now moving on to the other modes, Gem Grab is a really good choice for BiBi. She has the speed to outrun many brawlers, and her knockback attack is incredible at defending. While on that topic, she was also really easy to play on Brawl Ball, which may not surprise some. I will say I didn't find her super to be all that instrumental in both modes, but it was better to have it than to not. Moving on to Heist, BiBi might be a hit or miss, which really depends on the map that you're playing on. For example, you'd think that she would do terrible on a map like Safe Zone, but surprisingly she does fairly well here. The only reason I'm saying this is because I'm still using her Home Run star power, which has helped me win more games than if I didn't have it. Even on other heist maps, BiBi still works the same way, if not better, since you can maneuver a lot more easily. I think the majority of players know better than to underestimate BiBi on a heist, let alone ignore her on the vault, so it sort of balances things out. Finally, I wanted to discuss Hot Zone, which in my opinion was more difficult to play on than Heist. Getting to the center can sometimes be a struggle, and it doesn't help that her knockback might simply just push a brawler to the wall instead of outside the zone. I said this in my media video where it's best to approach the center from the sides, and I think it works out even better for BiBi since she's more tanky. And couple that with her vitamin booster gadget and you can survive for a lot longer. The main threats that you'll most likely face on Hot Zone are Tick, Penny, and Hank, but I quickly found out that the best way to deal with them is to simply rush them when they least expect it, so as long as you divert their attention from the center, you should be good for the rest of the match. So overall, I think BiBi is a fantastic brawler who I should have definitely used a lot more back then. She can be a bit tricky to use, especially with her attack speed, but you'll quickly find yourself having fun. Anyways, have a good day.